What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today with a very special video because we are going to check out how much attack we can put on my LFA. And just not that, we're even going to boost my LFA and see if that is worth it. What do I mean by that? Well, I prepared a ton of food for LFA. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, not you, 5 S-tier heroes right here that we are going to sacrifice to this LFA. So now you can see why I said this is quite an expensive video. We are going to soul perfect him and we are going to see how much attack we can achieve by this. Right now this guy is not maxed. You can see 10,409 with about 10,818 soul power. Our roll is pretty decent, but we can of course max that even further. We have 77 more bars to go, which I said was too expensive and probably not worth it when I did this. Today we're just going to throw some copies on that and see what we can do with it. Of course we have to check out other sources of attack. We have a flag equipped at the moment for maximum flex. We don't have an attack stone, so this will be like our #1 priority. Why do I not have an attack stone on this guy? Well, we can't complain about that. That was fairly nice on the first roll. I had to regress this guy and I lost all my stones, and then I got holy damage, skill damage. I was like, why would I roll for the rest? But for the flex, of course, 40 million attack right there. We have enhanced skills here, full enhanced skills, so that is a little bit of attack as well. Then we have the residents, a lot less populated by now. I usually don't actually run normal Transcendence hero tenants, but of course they still add a ton of attack to our heroes. Talking about heroes, you can find the greatest heroes in Marvel Strike Force. Iron Man, Wolverine, Captain America, or my personal favorite Blade are just some of the awesome heroes that fight to save the universe. Use my link in the description or scan my QR code to download the game for free on your mobile right now. Marvel Strike Force is absolutely loaded with content, featuring multiple game modes including PvP, raids and even big alliance wars. It challenges you to find the best team composition to win them all. Every hero has unique abilities and synergies for that, and believe me, there are a ton of them. And for this spooky season, even the Undying team returns. That means you can get Zombie Iron Man for free just by using the code Halloween. This already gives you one of the key members of the insane Undying team, which is one of the strongest teams for Alliance War and only obtainable during the Halloween season. Definitely don't miss out on this opportunity. Well, I struggle a little bit to have the soul power on my LFA and to have the right attack order. And those guys here, look at that. They give me 2.9 million attack. That attack doesn't get scaled with anything. So it's 2.9 million attack, which is, I guess, not too bad. It's a pretty decent tenant overall. This one is 851k. But those two also give me 106 speed, so allow me to put less soul power on my hero. And then that actually reduces my attack. In this situation, however, well, we can kind of put those on there. Tenants. We have our SSM, we have our PDE, that is pretty much optimal, but of course we want to check out whether or not those guys are properly equipped, because I reckon they are not, as I usually don't go for flags anymore. Seems kind of weird, but flags are really only used for, well, for the flags, but that is about it, not really for anything else anymore. You just keep PvP artifacts equipped. The difference in attack is so marginal that it just doesn't matter. So now we have that all equipped. What's the attack now on the house? Let's see. Oh, we should check soul power as well. So soul power on SSM and on PDE, both equipped 10,298, the maximum I can put on my SSM. Very, very good. Let's check the maximum attack we can get there. That is 52 mil. Not too bad. It seems like a lot, but the thing is, this is attack that doesn't get scaled with anything. So it just gets thrown on your hero, really isn't too much. The insane part is treasure train, the insane part is book, and the insane thing is, well, you can get more treasure train. You can't really get more grimoire at the moment. It's really not possible because, well, I have it maxed, so that's about it. 100% liberation percentage, 60 mil attack. That's all we can do. So until they release Grimoire Chapter 2, that is all we have. But we can kind of take a look at the other side of the equation. Those are the multipliers, and mainly the multiplier that is our awakening. And our awakening is defined, of course, by the awakening level, X tier, is it S tier, is it A tier, whatever, and the little stat value right here. The higher this is, the more attack you have. The easiest way to see this actually is if we just compare two heroes with like vastly different awakening. What do we have? For example, we have, I think in the Shadow faction, we are fairly well equipped on that matter. We can just compare this guy, Ranger. You can see 142 million attack, which mainly comes from the Grimoire. Fairly low stats overall. And we can compare that, the 142 million attack, to my S tier Ithaca, where we're at 196. And of course, the lower you get in terms of the awakening, the lower the attack gets. And that means the higher our LFA in terms of his awakening, and the more soul power I can use, this is also a point, and the more stats I get from those multipliers. And now we kind of have to improve that. And that way is, of course, Soul Perfection. I made a full Soul Perfection guide, by the way. I still get questions about Soul Perfection, but there is a full Soul Perfection guide done by me with all the calculations, with in-depth everything, really. Just to say, we are currently still, and that is something I have to show, otherwise this seems a little bit weird, we are still doing the Superior Soul Boost event. The Superior Soul Boost event allows me to use heroes that are up to 2 grades lower than my hero, which in this case is X tier, and still get bonus merging. So even for S tier, we will get bonus merging, which will vastly increase the amount of progress that we can get. Outside of this event, you basically can't enhance X tier because, well, you would have to use another X tier to get the bonus merging. During this event, we can go down to up to E minus, A minus. You can see A is still up. Plus, there are our S tiers over here. And we can use all of those and basically enhance this guy about 26, I think, 26, 27 bars. That is what we are going to get for this, which is not a whole lot actually. We get 60 stats divided between all of our stats right here. Keep in mind, this stat speed actually gets the stats in a different manner. So when I say 60 stats, you have to consider basically 2 more digits for speed. So this doesn't get one. If one of the 60 stat points is distributed to speed, basically speed gets it at 0.01 from getting one of those stat points. This is a little bit weird to explain, but that is just the way it works. So if I use my first S tier, you can see 26,750. A bar uses 3,000, so this is about 9 bars, nearly pretty close to it, but we are going to get some material from the event as well. And yeah, let's just check it out first before we sacrifice. 557 million at 77 billion attack is what we got at the moment. 10,818 in terms of soul power, which is the maximum. So let's do our sacrifices here. 1 S tier. Let's see what we get. A buck. Okay, we got a decent improvement there. And here you can basically see what I meant. Speed is never just 103. It was 103.22. So when one stat is added, it becomes 103.23. We went up to 104.9 though, which incidentally doesn't have 2 digits, which is funny because they don't show the 0. But it's never an RG thing, so we will always get the same amount of stats really for every single bar completed. So it's not really about like us now being lucky. The only thing that we can get lucky about is the stat distribution. So this is kind of random. I don't have to have attack as my highest value, but I have right now, and I'm pretty happy about that. For LFA to be good, it matters a little bit, yes. We want to have high attack. We want to have low speed for PvE because that makes it easier to keep up our attack order. But if we can't get that, it's, I think, not too bad. By Valk. So sad, actually. I thought about making a video about Valk, but I tried it before. It is not that interesting. See, there was the change. They will always stay fairly close together. Actually, this is kind of an interesting thing. it is more and more unlikely for stats to diverge. So meaning, if you see a hero, and there are some of those, like A- with S tier attack, this is very, very rare to have a big difference between the stats. And it actually gets more normalized. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. It gets completely normalized, actually, at SSS tier at max stats. Because at that point, if you have to max out your hero to SSS tier max stat, which is 9,900, 9,999 for every single hero. So at that point, all stats are the same. And only then can you go into X tier. So that kind of resets the hero, makes all the stats the same and tells you, okay, now start again. And now we kind of check how much of a difference you can make. So really, the probability of you having vastly different stats and X tier is rather low. Because it can only happen if you upgraded it a lot. And then, once you max it out, it gets lost again. So you don't really have that advantage for a long time anyway. But I don't mind HP. I don't mind HP. And I will sweet talk speed too. So if we get high speed, which now, yeah, I guess we got. So we got higher speed than attack at least. I will sweet talk that too. I will say this is good. So that's about it. Yeah, you can see how expensive it is. 11,185. And yeah, so this is indeed now attack is our lowest one of those. So this is kind of unfortunate. Due to the upgrades, and we have to skip that part because we still have to we have a little bit more to do. We get Awakened Puppet from those events. From the Superior Soul Boost event. Where we could in theory still get an A+. But it is actually really, really difficult. Because as I said, we get 26,750 for sacrificing an S tier. And those are directly the points. So 26,750 points for sacrificing an S tier, which brings you fairly far into this, but it gets you like right here. And you have to see this is not 1B+, those are 5B+. But the difference between like A+ and S tier is 70k points, so sacrificing about 3 S tiers, which is kind of crazy. We nonetheless have a few useful heroes though, because we got this A and we got those A- statues, which I'm happily going to use during this event. I'm not too sure about the B ones, but the thing about this is you really don't want to keep your bars like in the middle. That sucks. That really sucks. Because as soon as you put this on the auction house, it goes and your stuff is gone. So you really want to kind of max this out as close as you can. We have A-, those are about 3,000 points. Those are completely pointless. Because those will just give us a bar, which means we will use them just because they give us a bar, obviously. And then we have those which are 5,750 points. Those are a little bit better, meaning about 2 of those will actually fix this. Maybe with the 80s we can? We can kind of just use everything, I guess. We have to use them one by one though, which sucks a little bit. So, let's upgrade this quickly. It's only 1 bar, so the difference is actually rather small. You can see the stats barely improve here. Let's see what we can do. There we go. And actually the upgrades are fairly similar to what happens at SSS tier, because you can see it's also 60 per bar. But at SSS tier, if we compare that, we can just check this one out, because I thought about maxing this guy, I'll be honest with you. It's 4,650 merging progress actually per bar. So per bar it's more expensive. The difference is, and this is kind of the hiding factor of X tier has more bars. So even though the bars are cheaper and the stat gain is the same, and yeah, it's good because you get more stats overall, but also there are a lot more bars, so you can spend a lot more money on it. To max this one out, it would just be the 13 bars, so there's about 2 S tiers away, but I actually intentionally don't do it, because I fear that I might do X-Star Alchemist Storms Young, and I don't really want to. I don't really want to, guys. I don't really want to. I kind of want to avoid it. So let's use this guy. How are we doing? I don't mind buying it. Oh wait, we are actually doing doing worse. That's not good. That's not good. I should have calculated that better. I wasn't smart. Now we need 1,600. And the lowest we can do is 3,000. Okay, we need to fix. Okay, fix found. So basically, we removed this number by 250 every time we sacrifice an A tier. So we have A tiers now. I hate Karim, so we are going to sacrifice him first. Then we have other heroes I want to sacrifice. I kind of hated it because there was like a Dustmog. I kind of like Dustmog, so I don't really want to sacrifice him. I was really looking for Garuda because I want to make a Garuda video, and that was a super cheap one, so I can't sacrifice this either. Yeah, this Vesa was really cheap, so we're going to sacrifice that. But yeah, not that easy actually. I really like Rogan too. Amour is a super interesting story. Can't talk about that. Let's sacrifice Michelle. Ain't nobody need that. But yeah, there's an interesting story about Amour, because Amour actually got reworked in the time I played. It's one of the heroes that just got a rework in the time I played. We don't need Rogan. Even though he had like a great meta, and there was like the full assassin meta, I don't really want to make a video about him. At least not at 8 here. Is not really damaged either. Was always a support. So, final stats. Speed is the highest, attack is the lowest. Great for PvP. Okay, 16 bars, and you can see, well, I don't know if you've actually seen. It's now 150 left. So that is okay. I can live with that. That's decent. Yeah, big upgrades. Way too expensive of a video. But you can actually help, well, kind of help me make those videos. Check out the link in the description, because SG Hub is actually back, guys. You can go on SG Hub. SG Hub just reduced the prices by a massive amount back into farming starry gems, actually. You can check out the SG price list channel. There is a channel on how you can buy starry gems, and you get some of the cheapest starry gems with the best service ever. You all know SG Hub. I don't even have to talk much about it, but you just go there, check out the how to buy SG channel, read that, and then you can just hop into a ticket, give us a quick ping, and we will hook you up with some starry gems. So that is absolutely great, and helps me make those videos, I have to say. So definitely shout out SG Hub. Let's get back to this. We have to do one more thing, and that's why I kind of skipped over the LFA. I guess already some comments there. Wraec, I can't see the attack. You skip over it so fast. But there's a reason. Because our soul power cap has increased from 10,818 now to 13,259. I will never have enough soul power again. That is crazy. Giving us 795 speed. 13,259 is the increase. Yeah, so we went to 14,772 attack. No, 24,000. I was so proud that I got the last numbers right and messed up the first one, the easiest. So stupid, but that's a ton of attack. So let's see how much attack that really ends up being. So this is now 86 billion. This is 615 million attack. And we went, so that was actually good, guys. That was actually good. I didn't expect this to be actually good. It was actually good. So now we have 615 mil attack. And I have to say, this is not with the highest attack star spawn. This is like Spectre. Spectre famously has like, if you go to the Advanced Destiny trade, 37. Wait, this got better now, right? It's now 37 37 million. 800k. Because that used to be worse. They used to be so much worse than Pupil. Pupil is 42. So the difference is no longer that big. Pupil was at like 42 and Spectre at 25. And at that point you really noticed that. But I guess it's better now. It's not like better in terms of attack, but the difference is no longer that big. So yeah, 615 mil attack. Yeah, that's kind of insane. I would show you. Go to like Flame Shrine. And we could see a really insane Flame Shrine fight. Where I click on the button. And the only problem is, it's really not a great demonstration. So I don't know what we are going to do. Maybe Broken Spaces? What do you guys think about Broken Spaces? Shall we do Broken Spaces with the 600 mil attack LFA? I feel like I did Broken Spaces with LFA a while ago. But the problem is, yeah, those guys don't really lose HP. So we can't really, do anything. here. And then it says 1 point E plus 18. And there again. So, no idea if it was good. I'm place 1. So I guess that isn't too bad. I feel like we did broken spaces. It's probably going to be a one-shot anyway. Is there any challenge? Maybe you guys can let me know. Never mind, screw all that, let's max him. I want another S tier. Let's go. Wait, did I get the puppet? We have an 8 plus puppet basically. So there we go. Is there really 8 plus puppet? Where is it actually? It is in my bag. Bloody hell! Can't make it cool! 8 plus puppet, come to me! There we go. LFA. Wait, I forgot where to max. Okay, here we max. Let's go. 8 plus puppet, 10,000 points. 10,000 points, guys. Have to say shout out SG up one more time. Rip Grew. Nobody like that. And that leaves us with 2 bars. And the only issue with this is we are going to throw an A tier on it, because it doesn't make sense to do this otherwise. It's going to be the armor war, because no point in making a video about that. We can't see the end. So like, it can be 3,000 points. I could calculate it probably. But yeah, wait, can we calculate it? With the value of the speed, I could calculate it. I really don't want to. So let's throw an A tier on there and be happy with it. And this is going to give us a very interesting screen at the end. So probably I think this is the first max out screen we have yet seen on YouTube. I think it is. I think it's really the first time we have seen this screen on YouTube. And interestingly enough, it was indeed 2 full bars. So if you calculate the difference between those stats, so it's like 84, this is 11, and this is 25. And if you put those all together, you get 120, and it's 60 per bar. So we have 2 full bars exactly here. And this brings us to the max value that you can get on LFA. With the screen max soul merging progress reached. I have to put it in the title that we did this. For the content, you know. So let's get even more soul power. 13,900. So we have the absolute maximum of an attack stat on an LFA that you can achieve in this game. What was formerly 9,900 has now become 25,800. That is the max stat that you can achieve. 834 is the max speed boost that you can achieve. So this hero is now in like most of the regards that you can have from the copy itself maxed. We do have max enables. We do have a maxed copy. We have a pretty great roll on this guy with skill damage, Hunter's Focus, Defier, Giant Killer, Body Protection. We have 631 million attack, which you can still improve. We don't have the best treasure trains. People always misconcept that I somehow have the best treasure train. I had #1 there for quite some time. But yeah, no longer, I'm like place 24, which as I always said again, the difference between place 1 and me is only in festival treasures, which I don't really care about. And the importance of that goes down. So right now we are at a fairly good point in terms of attack, I would say. 631 million. That is crazy, guys. That is really crazy. We can still get a little bit out of it. We can make it 632 million. But that is the point. Like, what does 2 million attack matter now? Now that we have 631 million. And you have to keep in mind, the second Grimoire book is going to be substantial. That is going to be another substantial boost to our attack. And madness. Absolute madness here. 88 billion HP with 14 billion power just from this hero. Crazy. Skin, by the way, is equipped. I never show it. This is the best skin for this guy. But I like the base design more. Many people have it equipped. I like the base design more. I still feel like it would be great if you could select the stats from one skin and like the design from another, because I think like this dictator skin is pretty sweet. But yeah, that's another thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video of this maxed LFA right here. It is quite crazy. I hope I can show you guys some nice damage. If you have any suggestions for what we can do with this guy, just let me know and we'll try it out. Other than that, I wish you a great day and we'll see us in the next one.